Today we're taking a look at these NFL matches, which are happening on Monday, November 14, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Philadelphia Eagles vs Washington Commanders. Washington opened the season with a win over Jacksonville, but it proceeded to lose its next 4 games. 3 of those 4 losses came by 2 possessions, so it looked as if the Commanders might have trouble competing this season. They bounced back with a solid 3-game winning streak though, taking down Chicago, Green Bay and Indianapolis in consecutive games. Washington was unable to maintain that momentum last week, falling to Minnesota by a field goal, although the Commanders did push the 3-point spread. They struggled against Philadelphia in late September, scoring just 8 points in a 16-point loss. Quarterback Carson Wentz was roughed up in that game, and he is now on the injured reserve following surgery to repair a broken finger. The Philadelphia Eagles have been the biggest storyline in the NFL so far this season, rattling off 8 consecutive wins to open their campaign. They have been favored in all 8 of those contests, covering the spread in 5 of the victories. Quarterback Jalen Hurts threw for 340 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first meeting with Washington, throwing all 3 scores in the second quarter as the team built a 24-0 lead before coasting to the finish line. Wide receiver Devonta Smith had 8 catches for a career-high 169 yards, while A.J. Brown and tight end Dallas Goedert each caught touchdown passes. Hurts only had 20 rushing yards in that game and has not reached the 30-yard mark in his past 3 games. He should have fresh legs coming into this matchup though, as the Eagles have not played since beating Houston last Thursday. Hurts has thrown for 2,042 yards and 12 touchdowns, while throwing just 2 interceptions. This season he ranks second in quarterback rating behind Miami's Tua Tagovailoa. He could be tasked with facing Washington defensive end Chase Young, who might make his season debut a year after tearing the ACL in his right knee. The defensive line, led by Darren Payne, Jonathan Allen and Montez Sweat, has been Washington's strength thus far. Philadelphia's offense ranks 3rd in the NFL, 391.0, while Washington's defense ranks number 14, 330.7. I am not loving the idea of laying double digits with Philadelphia against a team whose strength is its defensive front and rushing attack. The Commanders are built to control the tempo and keep games within reach. They were unable to do so the first time they faced the Eagles, but I expect a stronger performance from them this time around. Washington did not have Brian Robinson Jr. in that first matchup, and it could have Young back defensively as well. The Eagles should win this game, but I would be surprised if it is a blowout. Take the Washington plus 11 points. The last time the Commanders met Philadelphia, a different quarterback was starting for them. Carson Wentz was running the huddle for Washington in that Week 3 matchup. Wentz is currently rehabbing a finger injury and could come back next week, according to Ron Rivera. The Commanders will be starting Washington cult hero, Taylor Heinicke. The 29-year-old quarterback has started the past 3 games for the Commanders as they have gone 2-1 when he is under center. They beat Green Bay and Indianapolis, but lost to Minnesota in their last game. Washington led the Vikings 17-7 after Heinicke found Dax Milne for a 6-yard touchdown pass with 14 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. The Vikings fired back with 2 field goals and a 12-yard touchdown reception from Kirk Cousins to Dalvin Cook. The Commanders lost 2017 as Heinicke threw a crucial interception in their own territory when Washington led by 7 points. The Commanders have led a portion of the game as 6 straight contests. But they own a record of 3-3 during those games. Heinicke finished with 149 yards on 15 for 28 passing, he added 2 touchdowns and had that late-game interception. Heinicke ran for 17 yards, too. His ability to scamper will be needed against Philadelphia. The Eagles sacked Wentz 9 times and hit him 17 times in Philadelphia's Week 3 win. This is the fourth game for Philadelphia in primetime this season. They defeated the Vikings on Monday Night Football in Week 2, Cowboys on Sunday night of Week 6, and the Texans on Thursday Night Football on Week 9. The Eagles will be on 11 days of rest entering the game against the Commanders. Philadelphia defeated Houston on Thursday Night Football on November 3. The Eagles defeated the Texans 29-17 to give Philly their first 8-0 start in franchise history. Hurts threw for 243 yards on 21 of 27 passing and had 2 touchdowns in the win over Houston. The Texans jumped out to an early lead, but back-to-back touchdowns via rushing plays by Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell put the Eagles in front. The Texans never led a gains in the game. Sanders finished with 93 yards on 17 carries against Houston. The top pass catcher was tight end Dallas Goedert. He made 8 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown in the fourth quarter. 24 points in the second quarter as they won 24-8. Hurts found his 3 favorite receivers for touchdowns in that quarter as A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith and Goedert all snagged touchdowns. Hurts ended with 340 yards on 22 of 35 passing, 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Smith finished with 169 receiving yards on 8 catches. That was Smith's best output of the season so far. Philadelphia's defense was relentless against the Commanders. As the lead grew, Washington was forced to throw the ball more and more. This allowed the Eagles' pass rush to attack. Philadelphia sacked Wentz 9 times in the game. They also forced a fumble in the game, too. The defense ranks 3rd in the NFL in total yards allowed and passing yards allowed per game. Opposing offenses are averaging 299 total yards per game, and they are allowing only 177 passing yards per game, too. Their only blemish is giving up 121 yards per game on the ground, that ranks 20th in the NFL. The Eagles are going to win pretty easily, but the Commanders still have some weapons that can score the football like McLaurin, or like running back Antonio Gibson or wide receiver Curtis Samuel. The Commanders will score at least 2 touchdowns while the Eagles erupt for over 30 points on Monday night. The over is 6-2 in the last 8 meetings in Philadelphia. The over is 5-0 in the Commanders' last 5 games after accumulating less than 150 yards passing in their previous game. The over is 8-1 in the Eagles' last 9 home games. Take the over 43.5 on Monday night.